Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And he had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The Eagles send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now it's Watson setting up the screen for Miller. Room to run past midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the 50, it's Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Fuller. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Richmond.
To the air yet again, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Eagles have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11.
Come back.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The first down carry now for Miller. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a first and goal to go at the 7. A shotgun snap for Watson. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Again, it's Watson. This is caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson, and the Texans will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Come on now, let's go. 40, 82, 40.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Watson now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Richmond.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Watson operating from the gun. He's going to loft it, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And got his man complete. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain. And even 70 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. And it's up and good. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. For a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Texans on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Come back.
Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to air one out. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Wentz. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up only to about the 22. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw on 2nd is Watson. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Wentz now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. To throw is Wentz. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
81.
A final shot before half for Wentz. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. An update from Buffalo. The Bills out to an early lead against the Patriots. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 37. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Fights through him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Richmond.
From the gun, Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They go play action here on 1st down. It's caught by Aguilar. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Lion. Run.
Wynn's going to try and throw on third. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. In the backfield to pass protect, and sometimes try to protect the QB, you hold.
And the key word, as you noted, protect, right? Sometimes you get out of position, get out of whack. It's just quarterback protect mode, and he got nailed for the penalty.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now running right through it. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll go on the ground. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide.
Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Play action. Now Wentz. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back now in Houston. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football, here's Houston. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Man, 5-7. Great.
Wentz going to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Watson now to throw on 2nd down. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Richmond.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Shorty, shorty, shorty.
On play action, Wentz. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing on first is Wentz. And incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Straight 15, straight 15.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tokyo, 82, 82.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Wentz got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that they also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
Black, no, feel it.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not any chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense.
And this will be caught at the 30. A big play there for Philly. 45 yards. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. Wentz. Now in desperation. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Texans, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles,